Westpac. You can bank on Westpac. McEwan's. You can do it with McEwan's. 4 and 20. The great Australian taste. And BP. On the move.
AFL Today presents two big matches, Hawthorn and St Kilda from Waverley and Fitzroy against Footscray at Princes Park. The Hawks are in the 5 and back in form with 3 consecutive wins. The Saints blew their final hope last week, but in round 6 they snatched an exciting and historic victory over Hawthorn at Moorabbin. Footscray is still in the finals race. To stay there, the Bulldogs must defeat last start winners Fitzroy, who are licking their wounds following the battle with the Tigers. That's the lineup on AFL Today. Good evening and welcome to AFL Today. 3 matches in round 19, Melbourne against the Swans at the MCG, and the 2 replay matches, as we said, Footscray against Fitzroy at Princes Park, and the big game out at Waverley between Hawthorn and St Kilda. Well, earlier this year, what a match between these two teams at Moorabbin when the Saints won in virtually the last kick of the day against Hawthorn. But things have changed a little since then. Hawthorn went into a slump, but they've been in pretty good form of late with 3 consecutive victories. They were looking to win today to consolidate their place in the 5. And for the Saints, it's been a bit disappointing. They've won just 2 out of their last 8 games, and they really blew their chance for 1990 last week at Victoria Park. An even first quarter, a point the difference. The Saints have kicked straight 4 goals to Hawthorn 3-5. Surprisingly, Lockett starting on the interchange bench. We go out to Waverley at the 12-minute mark of the second quarter. Our commentators, Dennis Cometti, Drew Morfitt and Bernie Quinlan, and Hawthorn leading by 19 points.
So Chris Mew, wooed back to this Hawthorn side, finds himself up towards the centre. Kicks it out wide. St Kilda have got the numbers, but Paul Dear did superbly. Outnumbered 3-1, fisted it on. And now Pritchard the opportunity. Too far out to score. The hand pass was too hard for Tuck. Paul Dear's in trouble. Frawley now, under pressure, scrambles a kick back towards midfield. Whitman, to his own advantage, went after it. In the road was a teammate, Paul Dear, to Anderson, who's 60 metres out from goal. In short, taken by Jenke. Jenke steadies, goes goalward and kicks a marvellous goal. Great kick. Hawthorn 8-7, St Kilda 5 straight.
And already a 5-goal quarter by the Hawthorn side. They've certainly got their game going in this quarter. The running players, Anderson, Jenke down from the back line, the player that kicked the goal. But Pritchard also coming into the match. Di Domenico hasn't had a great time across the centre line, but their on-ball players doing very well.
Hawthorn trailed at quarter time, but have kicked 5-2 to 1 goal in this quarter. Kennedy hauled off it, goes back in to apply the tackle. The umpire will ball it up. Nicky Winmar having plenty to say to the umpire.
And I think it was about the way that Kennedy got rid of that ball.
Brian Sheehan and Graham Forster in charge. Lawrence and Harding crash into each other. Neither got a touch. Harris over the ball, right in the centre circle. And another ball up. Bernie Harris coming down from the Bears to St Kilda this year. Lawrence and Harding again. Coughlin helps it on. Jenke for Hawthorn, puts it out in front of Anderson. Good pick up and good support. Kennedy. Platt just took his eyes off it. Daniels crashed to the ground. Felt that one. No whistle. Platten in after it again. Muller the hand pass out. Taylor breaks for St Kilda. Kick by Taylor to centre half forward. Lowe is there. Swamped. It comes to the back. Chance for Dwyer. Mick Dwyer on his own 40 metres out. Misses to the right.
Oh, he had a week there, Mickey Dwyer. He should have run in a little bit further even. Had 10-metre break on the Hawthorn defenders and panicked a little bit.
Not really his forte, the running goal. I've seen him miss a few of those. Could have run another 15-20 metres. Ayres kicks in. Lowe and Harding battled with each other. Peakin's kick was charged down. Di Domenico wants to run. This is Nugent. Nugent kicks towards half forward. Brereton leads in the race. This will be interesting. Brereton and Jeffrey have been close all day. Physically. Dunstall couldn't hang on to it. Frawley. Now it's with Morrissey. Bends one back and narrowly missed. Very much the opportunist, James Morrissey. 8-8 plays 5-1.
Ken Sheldon, a worried man. He'd have been pleased with the Saints in the first quarter. I mean, killed around the packs in the second term. Plenty of positional changes. Grant back to full-back. He kicks into Frawley, who's up the ground. It hasn't been one of his greatest days, Danny Frawley. The spud farmer from Ballarat, been chopped up like chips.
There's the boundary throw in. Harding and Paul Deere, Whitman over the top. McMahon again, Frawley. Back towards centre wing. Some interference there surely on Lawrence in front. Lowe launched himself, but far too early. He wasn't looking at the ball, at least initially. So here's Lawrence. Again playing well today. His position to lose in this team now, but one feels there'll be a lot of pressure on him come finals time. If in fact the Hawks make it. Superb mark, Paul Deere.
That was a great mark, but the free kick's been paid, Dennis. Unfortunate there against Deere. He outbodied Frawley to take that great one-hander, but the umpire saw it differently.
Frawley from the resultant free towards the middle of the ground. This is Harding on centre wing. Oh, lucky bounce for the Saints. Well, eventually it still favoured Hawthorn. Gave Dwyer some sort of a chance, but Collins hanging back was the man who kicked it across the ground. Now Platten, who's been busy this afternoon. Oh, great tackle laid there. Bringing him down was Lockett. Taylor, a chance for Arnold. Arnold about 30 metres out and closing, and I think he's missed. Well, what a tackle by Tony Lockett. To all intents and purposes, Platten was going to go around him. Somehow, he got the jumper, got Platten down, and should have made a goal. He made a behind, but not much solace in that. 8-8 to 5-2.
And when you're tackled by Tony Lockett, you're certainly tackled.
Stay tackled.
Hit the ground like a mattress chucked out of a 4-story window. A little trouble here for Langford. It comes to the front off Winmar's spoil. Arnold back to Winmar. Up to Lockett. Yes! Great mark, Tony Lockett. He's had 3 chances. He's taken 2 marks and laid a brilliant tackle.
Yes, that was a great mark, Tony Lockett. He deserves this one after that tremendous effort to drag Johnny Platten down. Here's the mark over Gary Ayres. One grab and then desperation to get that second grab. And did he hold it when it hit the ground? Let's have a look at it again. It fell in his arms. Yes, good mark.
He came up wincing. He hit the ground very hard. If Platten hit hard, Lockett hit harder.
The glass rattled up here.
Tony Lockett right in front and about 20 metres out from goal. Gets his second. Eight Hawthorn, St Kilda 6-2.
Well, last week Tony Lockett was playing on Craig Kelly, the Collingwood fullback, ran off him all day, and Kelly really had a chance to kick 2 goals. But Lockett is working a lot harder on the defensive side of his game today. We know how good he is when he has a chance to get his hands on the ball, but must work hard on the defensive side.
Hawthorn lead by 18 points. Harding gets it down. Whitman on the burst, though. Carries the ball towards half forward. Whitman's kick not a good one. Brereton in front. Feeds it out wide. Brilliantly gathered by Kennedy. Good hand pass. A great gather and a goal. What a quick reply. Kennedy, a very valuable player in this term. And Hawthorn go back to that handy lead. 9-8 to 6-2.
There's John Kennedy's second goal for the quarter, both coming from hand passes from Dermot Brereton. Hawthorn once again winning the ball out of the centre of the ground from that bounce. And there's a hand pass, beautiful hand pass by Dermot Brereton to the advantage of John Kennedy. Put it out in front of him, and John Kennedy didn't have to change stride.
Platten out of the middle, hauled down when he didn't have it, but no whistle. Winmar coming back into it a little bit. On his own is Daniels, 65 metres out, shocking kick, nobody there. Ayres hauls in a one-hander. Ayres to Anderson. Back to Ayres. Now Di Domenico. Oh, that's a wild hand pass. He gave that blind. Grant chips in. Lockett a chance. This time Langford in front of him. Dwyer gets Di Domenico high. Free kick to the Brownlow medalist. Struggled in the first quarter on land. And what about Danny Frawley? He's moved off Dunstall. Goes out to Kennedy, and Kennedy's kicked a couple. Collins, Platt. Hawthorn running amok. Jenky doing as he likes. Dunstall.
He's back to full confidence today, Jason Dunstall. Good to see him back after that terrible injury he suffered, that fractured skull. Playing with the helmet, of course, to protect that injury.
Jason Dunstall from just inside the 50. It's across the face of goal. And off the hands, out of bounds. And Danny Frawley's been dragged, actually. The skipper comes off and replaced by Brett Bowie.
That's interesting, taking the skipper off the ground, dragged. With, well, of course, he's had 6 goals kicked on him in this first half.
Paul Deere got it down to Kennedy, who snaps towards goal and kicks another one in the exchange. So Frawley was coming off the ground. I would imagine that Kennedy didn't have a marker momentarily, and he's kicked his 3rd goal. So yes, Hawthorn...
Sorry, Dennis.
Let's go along to 10-8 to 6-2. Sorry, Bert.
Far too easy, wasn't it, really, there from that boundary throw in. The St Kilda defenders not manning up enough. And they really had it far too easy getting that ball, finding a clear passage to get through.
7 goals, 3 to 2-2 in this quarter, and Hawthorn dominating. Everybody in finals will be worried about them, even if they finish 5th. Di Domenico, tuck, balk the hand pass. Pick the right option. Jenkins had a magnificent game. To Brereton wide. He's got Dunstall with him. Brereton fighting on at all costs. Platten keeps it going forward. Taylor is there in the last line for St Kilda. But his kick astray. Deere takes an easy mark. Just under 4 minutes left to half-time. Michael Tuck drives it towards the goal square. Morrissey, 2 touches not enough. Off the ground, Brereton a goal. Well, what a team is Hawthorn.
It's been a great quarter by the Hawks. They've shown why they have been in the last 7 grand finals. Michael Tuck still playing good football, 37 years of age. Morrissey almost. And Dermot Brereton, who's found some touch in this second quarter, with Russell Jeffrey tagging him very closely. But Brereton very important in the side.
So a tough time ahead for the Saints approaching half-time. And again, the Hawks bring it out of the centre, or do they? Tuck in trouble. Harding on the ground, only as far as Mew, who boots it back towards half-forward. Brereton couldn't take the mark. Well done there by Muller. Falling over was Pekin. Brereton goes back with a lot of courage. Back heeling it out of the pack was Pritchard, who was then held without it. Still they go. And we've got a whistle. Well, the finesse now of Hawthorn proving too much for the Saints, who are trying very hard. But when the Hawks go forward, they look very, very dangerous. Harding and Paul Deere, one down by the former. Pekin, the hurried kick. Mew running into form. It started against North Melbourne. He's looking good again today. Out wide. It may have been a touch ball, wasn't? No, the mark is held by Pritchard. I thought I saw the umpire motion, but now just been talking to somebody. Now he'll motion. There's a 50. And this will take Pritchard within scoring range. Undisciplined play by Mickey Winmar.
Yes, he does become frustrated, Dennis, doesn't he, when things aren't going his way. And he has a tendency to give away these undisciplined 50-metre penalties. He just must work on it. He's in the AFL and must realise he will be tagged. Things don't go your way all the time.
So Pritchard will kick from about 30 metres out directly in front. It's good. It's all Hawthorn.
Who can you bank on when your paydays are through? 'Cause your salary stops, but the bills never do. Who can you bank on when the kids are all gone? Who'll help you enjoy the time of your own? Who can you bank on? Who can you bank on? Who can you trust? You can bank on Westpac. You can bank on us.
This is a modern car, and you could win one like it. Enter the BP Visco 2000 Plus competition now, and you could win a Mazda MX-5. With wheels. BP, on the move.
Sorry. Well, it's a bit wet over there. A bit wet over here, too. Let me get some drinks. No, let me. Waiter, drinks all around.
Well, if we're going to make a party of it, let's nibble Nobby's nuts.
Sorry.
It has been suggested that the Treasurer may not be kind to us in the coming budget. Will this be your last chance to enjoy the luxury and safety of European motoring? Right now, the Volvo 740 GL is below the current luxury tax level. So now is your chance to own the ultimate in safety and luxury. Visit your Volvo dealer now. He'll be a lot kinder than the Treasurer. Volvo 740 GL from $45,050.
For the French, our greatest pleasure is food. Enjoy the delights of French food by collecting fabulous recipes in the Sunday Herald. Each one is so easy, so simple. There is pâté au Grand Marnier, superbe soufflé au chocolat, bœuf bourguignon like you'll never tasted, and heavenly crêpes Suzette. And to make your cooking even easier, there's a fantastic free herb poster. So don't you miss French food classics in this week's Sunday Herald. Bon appétit!
For the first time ever, by public demand, live, the match of the year, Essendon versus Collingwood. 7 presents live the match many believe is the preview of the grand final. The sellout crowd, the acid test for Collingwood, the pressure for Essendon. And it's live 2 o'clock Sunday on 7.
Hawthorn setting it up in the second term, kicking 9-3 to 2-2, leading by 42 points at half-time, 12-8 to 6-2. We go back to the match, approximately 20 minutes remaining in the third quarter, and the Hawks have stretched the lead to 50 points.
Claiming he was pushed in the back. Grant stabs it towards the pocket. This is Pekin, who's been busy. Away to Winmar. Winmar at right half back, goes towards centre wing. Lamb and Dippia Domenico. The latter takes the mark to Paul Dia. Hoisted high towards half forward. Pekin. Brereton astride too late. 13-11 to 6-3. Pekin. Another untidy hand pass. It ricochets off Winmar to Taylor. Long kick towards half forward. Dippia Domenico in front. Good mark.
Lifted a bit since a quiet first quarter. Comes across the ground to the attacking side to Pritchard. He can't take the mark. Winmar ducks Pritchard. Bowie up to centre half forward. Ayres tackled when he didn't have it.
Did he take possession of it, Drew? I thought he dropped the ball.
Maybe right there. It comes to Lawrence. Lawrence up short of half forward. Morrissey tries to knock on. Taylor is there. Harding. Doing it hard, St Kilda. Daniels. Now a bit of space for Lamb. Oh, he gets around Dippia Domenico just. Passes low, but in front is Cooper. He's done well since he came off the bench. Back to Mew. Mew's kick towards the centre of the ground. Daniels on his own.
Plays on quickly to Harding. Now it's with Nixon. Kicks inside the 50 and a strong mark is taken by Lockett. Not a good kick. It was falling in short. Lockett read it best off the boot.
Yes, that's a great mark. One hand being held by the other arm by Chris Langford, trying to break free, but he wrapped his left arm around it. Tremendous mark, Tony Lockett.
Started on the bench today. Kicked 2 goals in the second term. Needed to be there from the start. Although it's easy to second-guess the coach, I guess. And they're so far behind. Lockett's kick is true. The smiling goal umpire indicates Lockett has 3. St Kilda get their 7th. They're 7-3. Hawthorn up 13-11.
Yes, Dennis, just on that move, it was surprising to see him sitting on the bench in that first quarter. St Kilda had so much of the play. And of course, leading by 1 point at quarter time. Look at that mark. Tremendous work by Tony Lockett. He's such a big, strong player. Once he gets that body in front, there's no moving him.
St Kilda still just over half Hawthorn score. Daniels' kick is smothered by Pritchard, who heads back to it. Pekin, Pritchard in for a great play by Pritchard. He played the role of 2 players then. Daniels back, Pritchard going in again. Whitman. Lawrence dodging and weaving like a rover. The kick up short of half forward. Deere puts his man down. It comes to Morrissey. High to Brereton on his own. Had a break on Jeffrey. And Dermot Brereton, some chance to kick this from about 50 metres. Some danger in the goal square with Dunstall and Kennedy, who've kicked 4 and 3 respectively. Have to aim it right. Too far right. He had plenty of power on that kick. And through for a behind. Brereton, 1 goal, 2. At the other end, Tony Lockett, 100%. 3 marks, 3 kicks, 3 goals.
Here's David Grant to bring it back in. Some indecision. Comes Member's side again. He was out of the square. Lawrence, well done. Still most fullbacks, I think, when they kick in, are outside the square. This is Tuck. Everyone watching Grant now. He's under the microscope when he's kicking in. Meantime, Tuck thinks he can go close from about 55 metres out. This will get a ride on the breeze. He slides it to the right. Brereton almost the mark. It falls to Platten. Taylor going nowhere. Kennedy had the ball for a moment. Nixon did well to Winmar, to Bowie. How will it bounce? It needs to sit for him, otherwise he's in real trouble. He pays the penalty. Morrissey, long back towards the kickoff line. Back goes Brereton, takes the mark. Was there a push? Not according to the umpire. It looked that there was. That ball floated on about an extra 5 metres to what the pack anticipated. And Brereton going back has taken the mark just inside the field of play.
Well, there was
the angle.
Sorry, Dennis, there was a definite push there. He's on a very tight angle.
Brereton, the short pass. Pritchard. Very good kick from Brereton that time. Hard and low.
There's the push out. He actually held David Grant out. Didn't give him a real pronounced shove.
That was in the side too. It's a question of where the ball was, I think. As Pritchard gets the goal.
You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
McEwen's Big League Bargains kick on with Makita's 7.2 volt cordless drill, only $79. Makita's heavy duty 82mm planer, only $149, save $40. Makita's 100mm angle grinder, only $89, save $40. And Makita's 1.5 horsepower router, only $175, save $95. You'll find Big League Bargains store-wide. And remember,
you can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
Mr. Okamura will now demonstrate the practical advantages of computer networking. At NEC, we can tailor a networking solution to suit you now and in the future. And as every major company in Australia knows, the key to the future, however near or far, is the efficient sharing of essential information. NEC. We make networking work.
The Sunday Sun is celebrating its first birthday with $100,000 worth of prizes. In the travel guide, win a P&O Sitmar Loveboat cruise or a romantic Noumea holiday. In the home section, win a dry-clad pool. And in the kids' lift-out, win a Ninja Turtle party.
Have some pizza, dude.
Plus our new sports lift-out and Scotty's punchlines. And there's heaps more during the Sunday Sun's birthday month. The Sunday Sun, a great Sunday read.
What do we know about him? His wife's left him, his business is broke, and he can't stand heights.
Is there anything he's not worried about?
Yes, he just bought a new Toyota, and until August 31st, Toyota dealers are offering a Toyota Extra Care 5-year, 100,000-kilometre warranty on selected models absolutely free.
You've nothing to worry about for 5 years. Go, jump. Don't let them play the jingle.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Hawthorn just 6 goal kickers for their 14 goals. Low, good gather, over his shoulder. Di Domenico. Well done by Sexton, who got one in the back and wins the free kick. Listen to the St Kilda fans. They think they've been hardly done by. Sexton in the direction of Lockett. Punch down to the front, comes to Jenke. Off to Mew. Kick by Mew towards the centre. Kennedy. Lowe's back there for the Saints. Oh, couldn't grab it, he's better in the air. Kennedy, well played, off to Tuck. Tuck's kick for Brereton or Dunstall. Dunstall tips on for Brereton, nobody in front of him. Oh, he's caught in a good tackle by Jeffrey, has a second chance, and now he's doubled up. And the ball spills out to Taylor. Well, it looked as though Brereton was going to be a chance to get away then. They double-teamed him and did well. The kick back towards centre wing, high climb by Bowie. And he roves his own ball, but he's given away the free kick, and it'll come back to Gary Ayres.
I don't know what that was for. He was entitled to go for that one the way he did, I thought.
There's Platten, 17 free kicks to 10, Hawthorn's way. Platten on centre wing, down towards the pocket. Brereton couldn't take the one-hander. Kennedy goes reeling out of the pack. Taylor slaps it across half-back, off the ground by Whitman. Muller stood his ground well and goes off the ground, back towards the outer side flank, where it bounces out of bounds. Plenty of endeavour still from both sides. And Brereton and Winmar. And Devonport, a late arrival, just along for the ride. Harding and Paul Deere. They try to draw. Platten slaps it out. Pekin, the hurried kick. Lamb, eyes only for the ball. That was a good mark. Di Domenico has done well since half-time, certainly on Lamb. Lamb kicks towards centre-half forward. Cooper, almost the juggled mark, knees it forward. Taken by Sexton. Where's Lockett? Doesn't matter. Lowe goes back and takes the mark. Stewie Lowe will kick from about 25 metres out. Will frame a market. What's the latest betting here, Bernie?
Oh, gee, after that last kick, Dennis, you wouldn't be all that confident, but this will be his 100th goal in AFL football if he kicks it.
Don't tell him that, he'll surely miss.
Wouldn't put your house on it.
Stewie Lowe. Kicks, and kicks ever so truly, right through the middle. St Kilda keep on plugging away, 8-3 to 14-12.
Actually, Stuart Lowe's kicking style isn't all that bad. It's still on upfield here with Brereton and Winmar. There's a couple of big punches thrown there too. And I think Dermott copped a couple.
Yep.
But as I was saying, Stuart Lowe, it's just a matter of confidence. He can kick goals.
Well, there was a fight on in the centre of the ground while the ball was coming back, and it's going to be a St Kilda free kick, which is interesting because Dermott Brereton just copped a couple of beauties in the clinches right under the eye. Harding's free kick, Mark to Lockett. Dermott Brereton seeing stars at the moment. Now Tony Lockett, and his eyes closed pretty quickly.
Or is he closing it himself, Drew? He may be just feeling the effects.
A couple of the punches snapped his head back. Here's Lockett going for the torpedo from just inside 50. Won't quite make it. Rushed through by Di Domenico for a St Kilda behind.
Although his nose is bleeding, so he's obviously taking a couple there. A nasty incident behind the play.
Almost took the mandatory 8.
There's Langford. Out wide. Paul Deere. Muller over the top. Winmar took his eye off the ball. Meantime, Nixon. Sexton's kick was charged down by Tuck. He's a master at that. Runs onto the loose ball. Kicks towards centre half forward. Brereton, great mark. Oh! Collides with Taylor. Brereton has this one about 55 to 60 metres from goal.
And this may just spur Dermott on a bit, I think, after that little altercation.
Long kick. Dunstall not in the contest. It falls in short. Harding takes the mark. Of course, if you go back to, I think it was last year, the incident between Frawley and Brereton, the MCG. Here's Harding kicking to the outer side. A bit of feeling between these two clubs. Lawrence, now Winmar, who I think was involved with Brereton. The kick goes out of bounds and will be thrown in on the outer side. No doubt the AFL investigators will be looking closely at the video. Lawrence liked his game today. It's been a very interesting duel, that, actually, and again, evidence there. Advantage was paid. Pekin goes looking for Frawley. He's got the run of it forward of centre. Danny Frawley, low kick down towards full forward. Lockett. Now, strange to relate, if Lockett kicks this, and with just over 9.5 minutes remaining till three-quarter time, if the Saints can get a couple more, they'll finish with the breeze. They're showing a lot of pluck here. Would have been easy to give it away. They haven't done that. So Tony Lockett kicking at the 9th for St Kilda. They've done best in the last 5 minutes or so. Good looking kick. Splits the middle. So the Saints creep closer. They're 9-4 and Hawthorn are 14-12.
4 goals straight to Tony Lockett. He is a magnificent kick for goal from that range. 40-50 metres out. Rarely misses. Danny Frawley, the player, delivering the ball into the forward line. And Tony Lockett on the lead. And making good ground to get to that one out in front of Chris Langford. So St Kilda certainly not laying down.
Saints have kicked 3 goals to 2 in this quarter. And the margin 38 points. Lawrence and Harding. Lawrence with the second touch. Pekin dives on it and forces a ball up. Brereton spearing through that pack.
I think Timmy Pekin felt that too.
Got pretty slowly, didn't he? Brereton has been under constant treatment from the runners and the trainers for Hawthorn in the last few minutes, wiping a bit of blood from his nose. Pekin's in after this one again with Whitman, and tempers becoming frayed again.
There's a lot of feeling in this now after that incident earlier in the quarter with Dermott.
Third ball up. Be a free kick here in a moment, and here it is to Hawthorn. And it's on again. Winmar and Brereton are really going at each other at the moment. Whitman goes by hand to Tuck. Hawthorn will play the football. Wide for Deere, who takes a good running mark. Fight still on in the centre circle. About half a dozen players involved. And Winmar and Brereton the main protagonists.
Oh. Well, he was kicked that time, Brereton.
Platt can't quite take the mark. Nixon off the ground. Platten giving chase. Nixon's kick to centre wing and a chest mark to Frawley. Well, I think things have quietened down. They're playing football. Low at half forward. Knew the spoil. Lamb back to Low. And that'll be a ball.
It's getting very willing. Let's take another look at that.
That didn't look too good to start off with.
No. A bit more to come, I think, if we can stay with it.
Oh, gee whiz.
Oh, well.
Interesting viewing this week, I think, Dennis.
I think so. Required viewing. Here's Lowe, meantime, down towards the pocket. Cooper got a hand on it. Langford, little chip pass around the corner, ill-directed. Pekin, who's tried valiantly for his side, tried to short pass it. Jenke got a timely hand on the ball. Now Bowie, away to Frawley. Frawley from 20 metres out. He's had a black day, but he's made some amends there. Great goal by Danny Frawley. And the Saints will not be denied. 14-12 plays 10-4.
Yes, it's been a good...
McEwen's Big League Bargains kick on with a quality Nicholson handsaw with 90 45-degree angle markings for easy cutting measure. Only $16.75, save $10. And famous Lufkin tape measures in 8-metre or 8-metre 26-foot dual readings with 25mm rigid blade and triple rivet end hook. Only $19.99, save $12.50. You'll find Big League Bargains store-wide, and remember...
You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
This is the Liberty. It's a new luxury car from Japan, but it's not a Toyota. It has a 3-year warranty, even Mazda don't match, and it has a blend of style and power, of which Honda would be proud, but from around $23,000. Nothing else quite stacks up, except the Liberty wagon, of course. Test drive at your Subaru dealer.
This man has good reason to be nervous, for he failed to have a regular checkup on his automatic transmission. He thought that his service centre looked after his transmission, but only specialised transmission technicians are qualified to accurately diagnose and treat problems. Don't let just anyone look at your transmission. Be sure it's serviced only by an ATRA dealer, because ATRA are the only specialists in automatic transmissions. ATRA. Check the yellow pages for your nearest location.
Every once in a while, a very special... Stevie Ray Vaughan said he's going to revolutionise the way the guitar can be played. When you hear the Jeff Healey Held to Pay album, you'll want to get everything he's done.
The man with the pencil is back. Tony White Nissan. He's got the biggest deals on the hottest wheels. He's got the sharpest pencil in town, and he means business. He's ready to write you a better deal. When you want to make a killing on a new or used car, there's only one man to turn to. Tony White Nissan. He's got a license to sell.
The biggest event on the basketball calendar. North battles South. The Hungry Jacks NBL All-Stars Clash. Noon Sunday on 7 Sport.
It's going to be one of Summer Bay's most turbulent weeks.
I interrupt this conversation to bring you a very important news flash.
Grant and Jane will make a big decision.
Emma, do you or don't you, really?
Is she going to leave town for good?
Well, it certainly doesn't look like.
Yeah, well, I did. I had a great time, okay?
Hiding something in Home and Away, Monday on 7.
Saints doing a good job in the third quarter, kicking 5 goals, 2-2-4 by Hawthorn, trailing by just 26 points at three-quarter time with the wind at their back. First goal, all important at the start of the final term, and that's where we take you now.
26 points the margin going into the last quarter. Can the Saints keep that revival going? They outscored the Hawks 5 goals to 2 in the third quarter. McGuinness on the ground. Paddles, tuck, smothered. Whitman to Deere, off to Di Domenico. They did that in close quarters. One out is Dunstall. Oh, one-hander! Held off Grant with one, held the ball with the other.
Yeah, top mark again by Jason Dunstall. Sensational mark, in fact. Using his strength. Pushed out that right hand and kept his eye on the ball right throughout the contest.
Dunstall, 4 goals to half-time, goalless in the third quarter. The Breeze gets this one away to the right. And so Jason Dunstall has 4 goals, 2 for the day. The margin 27 points. The signs of a St Kilda revival in that third quarter. Pretty tough quarter it was too. David Grant. Straight up the middle. Pekin feeds off the hand pass to Devonport. His kick for Nixon. Any amount of Saints there. Nixon, centre circle. Short of full forward. Lockett and low. Lockett hands to it. Couldn't mark. Still got it, Tony Lockett. High, no distance. Ayres should mark. And Nicky Winmar has been in a few incidents here, especially through the third quarter. Ayres short pass. Well, there's no picking up at all by St Kilda. Lawrence uncontested. Winmar has to go from being the man on the mark to chasing the man who got the kick. Devonport with Morrissey. Morrissey grabbed him. Free kick to Devonport. From centre wing. Into the breeze from that side. Low outnumbered. Down he goes. Might get a free kick. In fact, it's going to the Hawthorn man in the contest, to Lawrence. Lawrence to Morrissey. Devonport comes to spoil. Does it well. Langford running out of room. Into Morrissey. Now Mew. He's kicked to centre wing. Diving mark by Muller. Excellent.
He's tried hard again, Muller at centre half back. It's been a good contest actually, Gear and Muller.
He's on centre wing. He kicks towards half forward. Lawrence battling with Lowe. Falls at their feet. Platten. Nicely done. Dipia Domenico, forward of centre half back now. Goes with a short pass. Kennedy to Tuck. He's in trouble, as is Kennedy. Strong tackle from behind by Frawley. Play on is the call. Now the umpire, I think, will move in to bounce it down.
Oh, why wasn't that holding the ball, Dennis? Very sloppy handball there by the Hawthorn side.
A couple of them.
Yes, putting their teammates under a lot of pressure.
Bounce alongside the centre circle. Paul Deere with strength. Out of midair by Whitman. And now Tuck breaking away. Brereton over his head. Dunstall trapped the awkward half volley. Anderson soccers it through the congestion. Brereton taken front on there by Jeffrey. This is Anderson. Nicely done. Snaps and kicks a goal.
Today's match is part of the CUB AFL 1990 Premiership season.
So that important first goal going to the Hawks, and they won 17-17 to 13-5 convincingly in the end by 4 goals, 12. Dunstall 5, Kennedy 3, Pritchard 3, Lockett got 4 and Lowe 2 for St Kilda. Crowd of just over 27,600 there at Waverley, and no reports from the game. So the Saints are certainly well and truly out of it, and the Hawks consolidating in 5th place. One team that would love to take their place in the finals is Footscray. Their match today was against Fitzroy at Princes Park. That's where we're going after this break.
You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
McEwen's Big League Bargains kick on with Makita's 7.2 volt cordless drill, only $79. Makita's heavy duty 82mm planer, only $149, save $40. Makita's 100mm angle grinder, only $89, save $40. And Makita's 1.5 horsepower router, only $175, save $95. You'll find Big League Bargains store-wide, and remember,
You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
This is a modern car, and you could win one like it. Enter the BP Visco 2000 Plus competition now, and you could win a Mazda MX-5 with wheels. BP, on the move.
A phony. Another phony. Ah, a Sony. A Sony Black Trinitron television.
Cold.
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 Ooh, and there's people depending on you.
Soldier on, soldier on, soldier on with Cardinal. Soldier on, soldier on, soldier on with Cardinal. Soldier on, soldier on. You know you're winning the fight when things are going right. Soldier on with Cardinal. Soldier on, soldier on with Cardinal. Soldier on.
Some people seem to have an inflated idea of how good their light truck deals are. But now Ford dealers are putting the squeeze on them. Thanks to big factory bonuses, you can now put your name on an Econovan very economically. Or get down to work with a great deal on a tough Courier 4x2. So head down to your Ford dealer soon. He's determined to blow the competition away.
Next on Hinch, an Aussie medical breakthrough. A Sydney Research Institute leads the world in the study of human ageing. Its scientists believe they found ways of easing the ageing process.
Principally improving the quality of life.
Can we turn back the hands of time? Next on Hinch.
Here are tonight's Tats 2 results, just drawn under government supervision.
Welcome back to AFL Today. It's now time for this week's winner of the $1,000 Westpac Bonus Saver football competition. And our winner is Miss Rebecca Gray of Camberwell. Don't forget to get your entry in for next week's draw. All you have to do is pick up your entry form at any Westpac branch in Victoria. There's a $1,000 bonus saver account to be won each week. So congratulations to Rebecca. Our second match tonight was from Princes Park between Fitzroy and Footscray. Last week, Footscray disappointing against Carlton, Fitzroy winning against Richmond in a game that was described as a bloodbath. Well, they suffered pretty badly at the tribunal during the week. Three of their top players out, Clayton, Osborne and Pert Fitzroy. For Footscray, a game and percentage out of the 5 they just had to win today to stay in touch. Well, they were going pretty well for the first 3 quarters. They led at quarter time, at half time and at 3/4 time had a handy break, leading 12-18 to 7-14, a margin of 34 points. We go to the game early in the last quarter. The Doggies have added 1 more point. They lead by 35. From the back pocket, gets some distance. Rendell the target, couldn't take it. Terry Wallace to Cullen, to Hawkins. To the goal square. Grant steadies himself. Still Grant off the ground, rolls through for goal. 13 goals, 19 to 7-14, and Chris Grant gets his first.
Well, the sign of a good player, in my opinion, because that high floating ball was kicked by Doug Hawkins. He tried to banana the ball through. Grant made it underneath it. He fought with his opponent for the ball, got the ball on his side, then recovered quickly, and he has got great recovery. A lucky bounce in the end, but he knew where the goals were. Rendell against Charles. Justin Charles has been a good player for Footscray today. He's taken 8 marks, most of them around the centre half-back area, where he took the place of Scott Wine in the side, so his form must have been pretty good in the reserves. Wine an up-and-comer. Now the umpire having a few problems there. The 2 umpires, Mike Bird and Chris Mitchell.
Change of whistle, I think.
Whistle, yep. This is Chris Mitchell, in fact, about to bounce it. Been a lot of skill errors made in this game today under pretty good conditions. That's Rendell with a big punch away. Atkins loves to handball. Gets it to Wallace, been outstanding again, Cherry Wallace. Foster, received from Hunter, and it comes back to Hunter via Atkins. Hunter to the half-forward line, and the mark has been taken down there for Fitzroy by Bunn.
Sweeps it wide to Stevens. Put him under a bit of pressure, but he's able to get around in the end. To centre wing. Wigney took off early against Truella and scooped it back towards Hunter. Dundas has been quiet, and it'll be a throw-in.
Gee, haven't they had some quiet players? Dundas has had 1 mark, 1 kick and 4 handballs. Lynch has only had 4 kicks. Lyons had 2 kicks.
Collins has had 1 kick, so they've had 4 or 5 players there, but between them haven't got to double figures. Not good enough, can't win like that. Wilden thumps it away at full forward. Royal, who had a big 3rd quarter. Waterson. Hawthorn, long kick. Strong kick to the forward pocket, and it was out of bounds on the fall in the end. She's tucked that one from about 70 metres out. Kennedy to bring her back in, 97 to 56. Foster, I should say. So Foster to half-back. Atkins. Waterson. Back to centre half-forward. Ruse in the front spot. Against him, Foster. Hunter off the ground. Trapped well, though, by Roos, and his left foot's going to dribble through for a goal. Well, the captain's got his second. Second goal to Roos, and it's 8-14 to 13-19 after Broderick stopped the ball in flight and was able to get it back to Roos.
Yes, it was a good smother by Broderick, and the loose ball came to Roos on the left foot, who dribbled it through. A clever kick, but he's only taken 2 marks for the day, Paul Roos, and had 8 kicks and kicked 2 goals. And for a forward, mind you, the delivery of the ball down forward hasn't been all that crash hot, but Foster's been a good player for Footscray. 19.5 minutes of play left in this final quarter. Here's Danny Del Rey over to Cullen. Oh, a little bit high. The umpire was right then. There's McGuinness, a quick hand pass. Looking for Cameron. Cameron, hand pass to Cullen. He'll go inside. Danny Del Rey will try and crash his way through. Gets away from Blakey, then goes in after it again. Hand pass back to Tony McGuinness. To Wallace. Back to McGuinness. Can he kick a goal? This will be great play if he does. Can he swing it back? He can. Great goal, Tony McGuinness. Footscray moved further in front. As you see on the scoreboard, they've moved on to 14-19, 103, Fitzroy 8-14, 62. And Tony McGuinness, his stats, he's had 2 marks, 21 kicks, 5 handballs, and that kicked 2 goals, and he is in great form at the moment, and that was beautiful football.
41-point margin now. Footscray looking for a bit of percentage, still with a glimmer of hope of making the finals. A game and percentage out before today. Hawthorn's kicked the centre half forward. Foster against Roos. Roos with it. Tries to get it out to Lyon, who's been disappointing. Foster, well done. Terry Wallace has got a long run here against Hawthorn. Wallace goes to ground, but does it cleverly. Atkins, still Atkins, to full forward. Coleman sets himself with Trooper. Grant. Coleman misses it. Stevens. Del Rey on top of him. Stevens safety of the boundary line if it makes it. Coleman keeps it back in. Royal looks for a free kick. Still Royal. And again Royal. Well done to Atkins. Atkins' left foot. High. Goal square job. Not a bad kick. And Cullen a beauty. Well, Brian Royal, well done. He weaved a bit of magic on the forward pocket and got it to Atkins. And Cullen took a splendid mark. He's got a bit of skill, Pete.
Yes, his only problem is Mark Cullen just a little bit on the small side. You're never sure where to play him. He's not really a natural rover, but he's got tons of skill, all right.
Well, he's kicked 1 and he's now kicked 2. And they're away Footscray, 15-19 to 8-14.
And good play in that forward pocket by Brian Royal. Coleman raced to the boundary line, tapped it back behind him. It was good play by Coleman also. Then Royal swooped on the ball. Was almost held on to for too long, and then he went back after it, and with cleverness gave it over to Atkins. The high floater came in towards the square. Cullen at top mark. (15-19) plays 8-14. Footscray players be very aware of percentage. That's Hawthorn towards the half-forward line, looking for Roos. Wigney. Atkins almost through that one. Hawkins wide. Oh, good hand pass. Clever hand pass. Wallace. Atkins. Del Rey in front. Can't take the mark. Here's Royal again. It's knocked out of his hands. Waterson, a quick kick. Cullen. Almost lost it. Good play by Mark Cullen. Hand pass comes to Michael Gale. Stevens. Hunter's been outstanding in defence. Terry Wallace. Another great game from the veteran. Del Rey. Good mark. Tony McGuinness, not sure what to do. Then gives a lovely hand pass. Well, one-handed by Terry Wallace. That was bad. He should have taken it with 2. Strooper. Wide to the wing, and the mark taken by Dundas. Well, we've hardly seen Matthew Dundas all day.
Good diving mark that time back to Stevens, and we've seen plenty of him today. He's had 18 kicks and 7 handballs. Delina in the centre. Rendell. He's got Kapler very short if he goes there with a handball. Oh, he's made a mess of it, Matty. Still Rendell. Now Kapler finally. It should have gone there a minute ago. He'll get to his left leg and then thump it towards the goal square. Wielden will take off at the back. Charles in the front. Truella. Still Truella. Well done to Ruse. Ruse smothered. Take your pick there, Foster and Hunter. They really could have worked better off the ground. Very clever goal. Unbelievable. Goal in the pocket.
Wielden.
Unreal. Well, he's kicked 2 freaks today, and that's the second one. 9-14 to 15-19.
Tunstall on a lead, dives, takes the mark. Sensational football by the Hawks. What's this? The Westpac $1,000 bonus saver football competition. Each week, Westpac is giving away a $1,000 bonus saver account. All you have to do is to pick up your entry at any Westpac branch in Victoria. $1,000? Fantastic. Now, back to the centre bounce. Where'd everybody go? Where is everyone?
You can bank on us. You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
McEwen's Big League Bargains kick on with the gardener's friend, the Rover Muncher. Only $309, save $50. Rover's 200 ES lawnmower with Easy Start 5-year ignition warranty, only $479, save $20. Rover's 200 ES XL mower, Easy Start high arch for superior grass catching, only $529, save $70. You'll find Big League Bargains store-wide. And remember...
You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
Ready to go? Yep.
Problems like this call for an original solution. Now this bloke's got common sense. You can tell by his strides and shirt. The original Australian King G drill, made for people who don't mess around. Good fit and down to earth. They don't try to look good, so they do. The original King G drill, made for people who don't mess around.
Compared to a Kubota, other small tractors look very small indeed. For the same price, you can own a Kubota that will run rings around the others. Kubota has a 100-year heritage of tractor technology, and when you weigh it all up, Kubota technology makes the others look like a load of rubbish. Kubota, Australia's best-selling small tractor.
Put technology to work now at Payton's Mornington and Rural Farm Equipment, Lilydale.
This is the Liberty. It's a new luxury car from Japan, but it's not a Toyota. It has a 3-year warranty, even Mazda don't match, and it has a blend of style and power, of which Honda would be proud, but from around $23,000. Nothing else quite stacks up, except the Liberty wagon, of course. Test drive at your Subaru dealer.
Sunday on the magical world of Disney. Thrill to the excitement of the greatest show on earth, Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, featuring the farewell performance of the world's greatest circus star, Gunther Gable Williams. It's a fabulous night under the big top with high-flying trapeze artists, hilarious clowns, acrobatic bears and so much more. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, a spectacular premiere for the whole family on the magical world of Disney. Sunday, 6:30 on 7.
So nothing here for Fitzroy with just over 12.5 minutes remaining. And for Footscray, game out before today and percentage of the final 5, and would be looking for as big a win as possible. Coleman. Now McGuinness, who's been very good. Royal's been excellent. They've had a number of good players today. To the goal square. Grant at the back. Good mark by Lynch in the front. Started the day up forward. And... well, Peter gave his stats a moment ago. They've improved a little in the last couple of minutes. Board on a lead. He started very well against Cameron, but Cameron's improved as the game's gone on. Centre wing. Oh, an excellent mark by Stevens, who's been very much Fitzroy's best player. That wasn't a good kick, though. Charles, very promising player. Grant, Lynch against him. Grant in the front spot. Lynch, Board, Hawkins over the top. Cullen, still Cullen, only as far as Kapler, who's been okay. Left foot, didn't really get onto it, but got some distance. Ruse and Foster and Truella. Foster, well done. Wallace trapped it and did very well, wonderfully well. Now Foster, and he's dropped punt to Coleman.
Strooper trying his heart out. Royals brought the ground, holding the ball. Well, that one was sudden death. Could have been a play-on decision then, I would have thought. Here's Waterson. Now, he was running around in circles. He's done all right, Waterson, though. Dundas has been well and truly beaten. Those resting Rovers for Fitzroy have been flashed by Hunter. There's a push in the back. People go the way of Mark Hunter, but he has been solid and dependable. He's only had 6 kicks and he's had 11 handballs, but most importantly, his opponents have hardly had a touch. Centre wing, Paul Stevens was the flyer. Here's Bunn, brought to ground, good tackle by Royal, and well, Royal had one against him a moment ago, so the umpire's consistent. There's Royal to full forward Grant. Oh, brought to ground. Delina's on top of it, and the umpire will come in and bounce at half forward for Footscray. 15-19 to 9-14. Some very poor kicking today in this match. Just over 10 minutes of play left in this match. Liberatore from the pack puts it out of bounds on the full.
Liberatore, 9 kicks, 11 handballs. Another very useful game. Strooper from the pocket. Rendell the target. Charles at the back. Blakey not very far. Davies back on the ground. McGuinness, the big possession getter with Wallace today. Short. And Grant had to wait for it a bit, but he was good enough. He's a great mark. And that one was always going to take its time getting to him. Lynch coming in strongly at the end. Now Grant, who kicked one off the ground earlier in this quarter. Been some miraculous goals today. They've really been the standout. One of Liberatore's wheeled in a couple. Grant one. And he's 50 metres out. He's going to go short to Coleman. Well, in the end, it was Royal chipping in. Cullen, Strooper, and a ball up. So not much happening there for Footscray. Grant might have been better to have a go. He hasn't kicked all that well from 40 and 50 metres out today. So he's probably lacking a bit of confidence. Rendell up against Coleman.
It's at half forward for Footscray. Waterson trying hard. Grabbed by Bunn. Quick kick to centre wing. Charles underneath that one. Tapped on by Hunter to Wigney was good play. Dundas beaten by Wigney. Just haven't got the physical strength, Fitzroy. McGuinness, they've pinged him for holding the ball here. He's not arguing because they know. And there've been no incidents today. Is that 50? Against Tony McGuinness, it is. But there've been no incidents out there today because the umpires have been firm and decisive and consistent. And that's when that happens, players don't get into altercations. Now this is Blakey. Will kick from 55. He's had the tough task on McGuinness since the second quarter. He's had 24 possessions himself as he kicks it up in front of goal. Fisted the ground and over the line and through for a behind to Fitzroy. There's Tony McGuinness. 9-15 Fitzroy, 15-19 Footscray. His minder there in John Blakey. Much taller player, of course.
Reynolds to Foster. Caught by Ruse. Liberatore under a bit of pressure there. He probably panicked a bit in the end. He didn't need to. Gale. Hawthorn to Atkins with a leg in there. No free kick paid. Quick kick away by Terry Wallace. Board. Davies. Grant. Still Grant. Atkins from centre half forward. Drop punt. Goal square. Coleman trying to get a run at it with Strooper. Bunn. Hawkins, he's got a bit of skill, Dougie, and that one's a beauty. 3 to Hawkins and 16 to Footscray, and the captain's got a lot of class.
Well, there was no doubt when Hawkins picked up that ball, Bruce, that was a lay-down misère that was going to be a goal. It was good play earlier by Chris Grant when he shrugged off a tackle to give it to Atkins. The long value of the long kick. Coleman wrestled for it in the goal square. The loose ball with Hawkins, and he doesn't mess around with those ones, Doug Hawkins. Highly skilled. It's curtains for Fitzroy, all right. Undermanned, but even so, they haven't played well. Blakey to the half-forward line, and Ruse takes the mark. Foster's been on top at centre-half back now. Ruse will go short. He's got a running player in Kapler. Oh, good pressure put on by Liberatore. That was fantastic. Stephen Wallace, or was it Hunter? No, it was Stephen Wallace. Keenan Reynolds, board. Oh, he drops the mark. He's played all right, though. Ruse receives from Hawthorn. On to Blakey. Broderick from 40 metres directly in front on the left foot. Paul Broderick slams it through for a goal. That's his second. That was much better play by Fitzroy, resulting in a goal to Broderick. Good teamwork all around. 3 or 4 players combining in that excellent passage of play, but that type of players being few and far between today. Fitzroy very, very badly undermanned.
(10-15, 16-19). Attendance today 10,610. They haven't had a lot to cheer about. Blakey towards full forward. Foster, Reynolds, chance here for Wielden. He's done some unbelievable things today. What about this one? That's another one. Well, he's kicked 3, and they've all been memorable. No question about that. 11-15 to 16-19.
Well, Dipper, what would you recommend?
Quattro Eventi.
Quattro what?
Tender piping hot meat, bathed in a delicately spiced, exquisite gravy, then encased in a golden pastry envelope.
It's true.
More 4 and 20s, Maestro. Going right up. Quattro Eventi.
4 and 20? Ripper, Dipper? Oi. Can we see the beer list?
No worries.
4 and 20. The great Australian taste.
You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
McEwen's Big League Bargains kick on with a quality Nicholson hand saw with 90 45-degree angle markings for easy cutting measure. Only $16.75, save $10. And famous Lufkin tape measures in 8-metre or 8-metre 26-foot dual readings with 25mm rigid blade and triple rivet end hook. Only $19.99, save $12.50. You'll find Big League Bargains store-wide, and remember...
You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
This is a modern car, and you could win one like it. Enter the BP Visco 2000 Plus competition now, and you could win a Mazda MX-5. With wheels. BP, on the move.
To celebrate 25 years of Van Morrison's music, Polydor proudly presents the best of Van Morrison. The best of Van Morrison, his greatest and his latest, strictly for music lovers.
With prices starting from around just $14,990, the new Ford Lasers have a lot of people coming down to Ford dealers. And Ford dealers are coming down in a big way on the whole Laser range. With your trade-in and the great deals Ford is offering, there's no telling how low they'll end up. If you want a new Laser, get down to your Ford dealer now. He can't stay this low for long.
They're back, those wogs out of work in the 1990 premiere of Acropolis Now. There's Mimo.
You help me now, how am I going to get into the guinea pigs book of records?
There's Jim.
I used to watch all the kids whose parents were Australian and wish I had what they had.
Blonde hair and blue eyes.
No, 2 eyebrows.
There's Rick.
They didn't have the nerve to make a move. He's a love machine.
And good old Effie.
What about your reputation?
I don't have one.
What about mine?
You need one.
Acropolis Now plus a lower low starts 7:30 Thursday on 7.
Just over 6 minutes of play left in this game. Caldolina. The half-forward line. Darren Collins. Oh, Hunter just shoved him out of the way with brute strength. On to Atkins. Atkins to the half-forward line. And a good lead, and the mark is taken by Royal. Those little men have been outstanding. Now, Grant wants to lead. Royal wants to kick long. Grant goes back. He'll be in the perfect position to mark this. No, too good, Alistair Lynch. Top mark. In fact, the umpire paid the free kick for a holding, and that'll be 50 metres. So Alistair Lynch will come up to the half-back area, but again, an example of the consistency of the umpires.
So Lynch from centre half-back now. Still a 34-point game. Roos the lead. Atkins, lovely half volley. He's a very good player, Atkins. He's had 19 kicks. Back to Lynch. Azaria and the mark to Strooper. He and Stevens, the outstanding defenders. Aythorn to centre half forward. Hunter, Collins. Still Hunter and Collins. No, caught Collins by Wallace. And it'll be a ball up. Well, Hunter hasn't put a foot wrong, and Wallace has been just as good back there. Hunter's had 7 kicks, 12 handballs, and Wallace has had 8 kicks and 12 handballs, so they've really done the job. Charles against Truella. Wigney. Well, they've got a paddock here. Steve Wallace to centre, or to the centre. Davies on a lead, and so's Coleman. Good strong mark. Oh, I thought Coleman might have taken it, didn't. Davies with a bit of time now to Grant. Good kick. Grant plays on. Still plays on. Then left foots it. It sits up. Cullen's got a chance. Back with him, Kapler. Free kick to Kapler.
Yes, no doubt about that one. Darren Kapler. 13 kicks and 3 handballs. Been good in patches, but really hasn't done enough. Blakey. Oh, the tackle by McGuinness. Board to Delina. Delina on centre wing. A couple of casual bounces. The sting gone out of the players now as Delina kicks to half forward. Stevens flies in front of the pack. Looks like he's having a stint on the half forward line. And the umpire, Chris Mitchell, will come in and bounce. 11-15, plays 16-19 under perfect conditions here. Liberatore is receiving attention behind the play for a leg injury. Let's hope the little fella's not hurt. No, he's right now. Off he goes. There's the ball still at half forward for Fitzroy. Really not a decisive performance by Footscray. Should have won by a lot more, really. There's a handball by Hawthorn to Roos. Roos on the boundary line, has a shot at goal. A good-looking drop punt right up in the square, and it's a mark. And it's taken by Broderick right in the goal square. Paul Broderick has kicked 2. And he won't miss this one. Lovely markers. Broderick floats across the back after a good kick to position by Paul Roos. Broderick from directly in front, taps it through for his 3rd. Won't help the score all that much because Footscray 16-19, 115 lead. Fitzroy 12-15, and they're on a total of 87.
Good kick by Roos. He was in the pocket, didn't have a long way to go. He was tucked away, and he did the sensible thing. He kicked right to the front of the goal, and there was a lovely mark. And a good goal to Broderick, his 3rd. 87-115. Rendell has to sit and wait for it. McGuinness, yet another kick. Coleman in the front spot. Strooper, now Cullen, just chips in and hits the post. Well, the scores have been level. He'll be pretty cross with himself if they're a point behind, because he really could have walked through with that one. But he's kicked 2-2, played all right. 16-20 to 12-15. Footscray haven't really got any percentage out of this game. They've won comfortably, handily, but not all that convincingly. Short kick to Hawthorn from half-back. Nice kick to centre wing. Oh, nearly an excellent mark to Truella. Board does well to keep it in play. Davies. Blakey out of bounds, so just over 2 minutes remaining. And the Darren Davies, quiet game. Started on the forward line, then went to the interchange bench for a while, and really hasn't done anything memorable today. Roos uses his body against Charles. Terry Wallace, who was quite outstanding early. Delina, who's played all right. Broderick with 3 goals has been handy. Blakey, well done. And with some pace and power, and a good-looking kick, but across the face in the end. And they're up to 12-16 to 16-20. So it's just been one of those days where both teams have had a few chances. But Footscray always 3 to 5 goals in front, and never really enough pressure from Fitzroy.
Terry Wallace receives a beautiful kick from Keenan Reynolds to him. Simon Atkins has been a good player. So was Hawkins. Oh, look at that. And the pass is on to Del Rey. Brett Stevens had gone out to meet the ball. Del Rey ducked back. A beautiful pass there by Hawkins. Great skill. Del Rey started off like a bomb in the first couple of minutes. He let out beautifully, but he's only kicked 1 goal for the day, and The ball's been up in that forward line time and time again. In fact, he missed a few easy ones early, Del Rey. Shouldn't miss this one. Brett Stevens on the mark, and Danny Del Rey kicks it goal. It's a little bit to the right. Did he sneak it in? He did. Danny Del Rey kicks his second. Footscray moved further in front. 17-20 plays 12-16.
Well, it was a great passage of play, starting from full-back. Some excellent kicking. Excellent mark by Hawkins, and then the left foot pass to Del Rey, and Del Rey gets his second. He's kicked 2-4 today, so he's kicked 19 goals in 12 matches this season. It's been useful, not quite 2 goals a game, but he's shown enough in his first season from the VFA to suggest he's going to be around for a while. So the last rights over this game, match that never really reached great heights, and Wallace with another kick. What a good player he is. Atkins will wait for it. He's been very good. McGuinness, who's been outstanding. One bounce on his wrong leg, but he is strong with the right foot, but not accurate this time. A behind. 17-21 to 12-16. And McGuinness has had 24 kicks and 9 handballs, and he's very close to best man on the ground. So the last 10 seconds remaining. Half back, Blakey off the ground as the time ticks away. Blakey again. Be pretty tight at this stage. He's had to chase McGuinness all day. Terry Wallace, still Blakey as the siren sounds, and Footscray win. Yes, a comfortable win for Footscray. 17-21 to 12-16 Fitzroy. Royal kick 4 and Hawkins 3 for Footscray. Broderick 3 and Wilden 3. Outstanding goals for Fitzroy, but a rather uninspiring game there, but Footscray keep their chances alive. Melbourne kicked plenty at the MCG against Sydney Jackson, getting 6 and 5 for Bennett. 27-11 in the end to 15-16, winning by 67 points, and it keeps their chances alive for the double chance.
Time now to check the CUB AFL Premiership Season League ladder.
And you can see the importance of tomorrow's matches. The top 3 teams all playing tomorrow, and the Bombers against the Magpies right at the top. West Coast currently in 3rd place, but the 2 teams that won today, or the 3 teams, Melbourne, Hawthorn and Footscray, all maintaining their position. And that other very important game tomorrow between Carlton and North, really the end of the line for the loser in that game tomorrow. So some big football coming up, but no change to the top 5. We'll be back with more AFL Today after this break.
Well, Dipper, what would you recommend?
Quattro eventi.
Quattro what?
Tender piping hot meat, bathed in a delicately spiced, exquisite gravy, then encased in a golden pastry envelope.
It's true.
More 4 and 20s, Maestro. Going right up. Quattro eventi.
4 and 20? Ripper, Dipper? Oi, can we see the beer list?
No worries.
4 and 20. The great Australian taste.
You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
McEwen's Big League Bargains kick on with the gardener's friend, the Rover Muncher. Only $309, save $50. Rover's 200 ES lawnmower with Easy Start 5-year ignition warranty, only $479, save $20. Rover's 200 ES XL mower, Easy Start high arch for superior grass catching, only $529, save $70. You'll find Big League Bargains store-wide. And remember,
You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
This is a modern car, and you could win one like it. Enter the BP Visco 2000 Plus competition now, and you could win a Mazda MX-5. With wheels. BP, on the move.
Hey kids, enter the Scanlon's Footy Cards competition. Now collect your Scanlon's Footy Cards just like Dad once did, and by collecting the wrappers, you could win one of 100 official AFL Footy Guernseys from Burley Seagham. That's right, 100 Footy Guernseys to be won. Plus the top wrapper collector wins this great autographed football. Just send your Scanlon's wrappers with your name, address, your favourite team's name and the number of wrappers to this address. Remember, 100 great AFL Guernseys to be won. Competition closes September 18.
Replace those worn tyres now at Bob Jane T-Marts. Yes, Bob Jane has blitz tyre prices for small cars with these road-gripping tyres. And for larger cars, just look at this low price. Bob Jane T-Marts Tyre Price Blitz, on now.
The Sunday Sun is celebrating its first birthday with $100,000 worth of prizes. In the travel guide, win a P&O Sitmar Loveboat cruise or a romantic Noumea holiday. In the home section, win a dry-clad pool. And in the kids' lift-out, win a Ninja Turtle party.
Have some pizza, dude.
Plus our new sports lift-out and Scotty's punchlines. And there's heaps more during the Sunday Sun's birthday month. The Sunday Sun, a great Sunday read.
Some people seem to have an inflated idea of how good their light truck deals are. But now Ford dealers are putting the squeeze on them. Thanks to big factory bonuses, you can now put your name on an Econovan very economically. Or get down to work with a great deal on a tough Courier 4x2. So head down to your Ford dealer soon. He's determined to blow the competition away.
Welcome back to AFL Today. Time now for Palmer's Punchlines. Let's go across to the office of the Sunday Sun. A big warm welcome to Scotty Palmer. How are you, Scotty?
Good evening, Bruce. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Scotty. Now, Dermot Brereton and Nicky Winmar today, that game out at Waverley. What went on there, Scotty?
A real eye-catcher because they clashed in the third quarter and we talked to him afterwards and Dermot said, look, what's stays on the football field remains on the football field. He said, I'm not talking too much about it. But he said, Russell Jeffries is a Kilda player when it was all happening, game up to him. He said, listen, Dermot, cool down because you've got the finals to play. Remember that. And he said, that was pretty good advice. Winmar said, look, he was in a Hawthorn Guernsey, I was in a St Kilda Guernsey. That's all I want to say about it.
What about poor Dermot? He's had been patched up a bit this year, Scotty.
Patched up last week with a couple in the chest, 4 stitches in the knee today, but he just keeps rolling along, old Dermy.
He's going to be a very important player if they make the finals, and they look like they will now. Alan Jean's happy today?
Very happy with the first half, was a bit unhappy with the second half where he said they let St Kilda back into it, and he told his players just how he felt after the match. But I'm pretty sure that he'd be fairly, positive about all the things that happened today.
Speaking of positive, what about Ken Sheldon with St Kilda? They've really blown it this year, haven't they? They've dropped right away.
He said they're going soft. They've fallen back, and he said they've lost so much ground, he doesn't know what to put it down to. He's very disappointed. And of course, young Mark Harvey, who we all thought had flu, was reported today have glandular fever. So there's another one that the Saints will be without for the rest of the season.
So Robert Harvey out for the year. That's bad luck. Now, what about at the MCG? John Northey, was he happy today? They kicked a lot of goals.
Yes, very happy. And he took off for Perth tonight. And he's going over to watch the West Coast Eagles Richmond match. We all might be going to VFL Park, but not John, because he feels that against the West Coast Eagles next week, the double chance will be in abeyance.
It's interesting, Jackson kicked 6 goals today. They seem to play well when the little fella gets some goals.
Yes, and then John said, look, someone has to win over there in Perth, and we've got plenty to fight for, so I'm going over to do a bit of planning, and we're just going to give it to the West Coast Eagles next week.
Colin Kinnear?
Well, very, very, very disappointed. He's not blaming the young players. He said it's up to the senior players, and he did say that they're digging a hole for themselves in football, some of the senior players, and he said they don't believe now that they can win matches, which is very bad when that happens in a club.
Any reports from that match?
Yes, young Matt Marnie was reported for striking Mark Pays in the third quarter. A very sort of striking debut out there.
Well, I was at Princes Park today, and I guess Footscray just kept their chances alive today. They must be happy with Terry Wheeler with 11 wins so far this season.
Well, after the match, they reaffirmed that he'd be coach for 1991, and he was very poetic after the match today. Very poetic. He's getting that way, Terry. He said, wouldn't it be a fairy tale ending to a wonderful season if we could make the finals? It would be a wonderful finale to the whole year, he said.
I'm sure a lot of people out at the Western Oval would agree with him. Terry Wallace, I think he had 42 possessions today. What an important player he is for Footscray.
Yes, and his contract's up at the end of the year, and I'm pretty sure that the Bulldogs will go ahead and re-sign him. Terry said after the match that he loves playing at Footscray, and he just wants to continue for another, not 1, but 2 seasons.
Terry Wheeler didn't play Steve Collingwood today. 2 weeks ago, he kicked the winning goal against Collingwood.
Yes, disciplinary matter. He wasn't playing the right side of football, and Chris Grant, who didn't play the right side of football last week, sat for nearly the 2 quarters on the bench today before he got a run. And Terry said until he learns to do the right thing, that's what's going to happen out there.
Scotty, thanks for all that. Don't
to get back into this game. Madden wins it.